People, welcome back. My name is Tomi Adenuga and I currently live in Ontario, Canada. This video is going to be like a sort of advice. I have shared a lot of things on this channel. People that know me can attest to this, that I will say what I know to the best of my knowledge. So I've shared different things on this channel. Even on this channel, I have shared that I would not advise you to come with a student visa. In that video, I explained all the reasons why I did that video. This is not to say that you can't come to Canada as a student, but I just wanted to like shed more light on how you can come into the country. So this is what typically happens. Like generally people have this mindset that, okay, when you're relocating, things will be difficult for you. It will be difficult to start over. It depends on the way you're looking at it, to be honest, because some people believe that when you're relocating, settling into like heaven in quotes, like everything becomes so easy for you. You are accessing this, you're accessing free healthcare, your children are going to free schools. I won't say anything about that, but it just depends on the way and the point of view you look at it from. I would also be realistic and I will tell you that it depends on how you're viewing this thing. So yes, your life might change, but it doesn't come with its own challenges. Coming into Canada, I've been here for about a year now and I have my experiences that I share regularly on this channel, and I also want you to like learn from my experience. So I've also shared on this channel that it took us about 4 years before we could get all our papers right, before we could like get all our paperwork done, before we could like apply, and before we came into Canada. I came into Canada as a permanent resident. Were there other avenues for me to come into the country? Yes, and we knew all those ones, but everything has its pros and cons. When I tell people that, oh, I'm applying as a permanent resident, people will be like, oh, it takes so much time, is this, is that. But depending on, based on my own family dynamics, that was the best way we could come in. And I told my husband when we were coming, I was like, I know it's not easy. I am someone that on this channel as well, I have mentioned that my parents migrated about 20 years ago from Nigeria to the UK. I know as a young person, as at that time, I knew the struggles. Even though I was not there with them firsthand, I know the kind of struggles my mother had. I know the kind of struggles my father had before he passed away. So it didn't come with without its own challenges. So I already like knew of all those things. We already like armed ourselves with all that, and I was like, if I am relocating, I don't want to go through the same thing. And even my mother was telling me, there are many times I was just tired of Nigeria and I'd be like, mommy, let me come to the UK, and she'd be like, Tomi, no, I have gone through this thing, I don't want you to go through the same thing. If you don't have a choice, yes, but when you have a choice, why don't you explore those routes first? When you've exhausted all your options and you don't have any other place to turn to, then I would say do this thing. My own mother that lives in the UK was discouraging me, because people ask me that, Tomi, how come your mom is even British? How come you didn't even think of going to the UK? Yes, I did. It has its own positives, but at the same time we also have to like consider other reasons why we couldn't settle in the UK. And like I said, it depends on your family dynamics. What is applicable for me might not be applicable for you. So there's no right or wrong answer to this thing. I can't say Canada is better over the UK. Like I have done those kind of videos on this channel where I am here in Canada and I'll be saying I prefer UK over Canada. So there's no right or wrong to this thing. There's no right or wrong to any province. At the end of the day, it depends on you and you alone, absolutely. The reason I'm doing this video is life is not as easy as the way people paint it as. Even me, don't glamorize everything you see on my page. If you follow me on Instagram, it's not as easy as it is. I am not saying this to discourage you. I am trying to be realistic. It's not as the way people paint it. If someone has a very rich father and is starting a business, the father will be pumping in money into his business. You can't compare someone that does not have support. It will be wrong of you if you don't have support to start comparing yourself with someone that has a trust fund or someone that has a very rich father or has like generational wealth. It will be very, very wrong. So you can't compare yourself. Who was this person that dropped out of school? That is Bill Gates. Yeah. His father or his parents were not poor. So even if he dropped out of school, he already had a lot of things working for him. So the reason I'm doing this video is don't follow another person's own. People that are coming with study routes, they have money. People that's coming with study permits and everything, they might have a lot of resources. Let me just paint this like as a context. If you're planning to come in as a student, or you're planning to come into study route with the current Canadian policy, forget diploma or 1 year, it's like 2 years that will matter now. And especially if you're coming in with family of 5, let's say it was like my own kind of family, you will need to have at least, for everybody to come in comfortably, for them to issue you that visa, you need to have at least 80 to 100 million naira in your account. And that's the truth. And that money is not even, to be honest with you guys, it's not like they just want to see that money. You need that money. If you've come into Canada and that money they're asking you to bring is not necessary, please counter me in the video, in the comment section, because you need that money. The amount of rent you first pay, you need it. So to me, I even think it's not even enough. And that's the absolute truth. You're going to be paying for school fees. You're going to be paying rent. You're paying rent as a student. They won't say because you're a student, you won't pay the rent. The amount of rent you're paying as a student is the same amount of rent a permanent resident will be paying. So you even need a lot more. So I came on this channel to say that people should not just consider study route, because I saw that a lot of people, maybe they were not armed with the right information, and most people were running with that fact that, okay, I want to relocate out of Nigeria and all that. So I did that video about a year ago, and I'm doing like an addendum to it right now. A lot of things have changed. It's more difficult now to get a permanent residence permit, or it's difficult now to get permanent residency. But is it impossible? Absolutely not. People still message me, people still send me DMs every day that although my PPR was approved. I still get all those kind of messages every day. I'll be sharing some of that with you. I hope I really remember by the time I'm editing the video. People share all that with me every single day, that I've been approved, I've been approved. Because the reality, when you're coming into a new country, as much as possible, I will advise you to start off on the right note. The reason I am doing this video is for those that don't even know where to start from, and I understand that absolutely. For me, I was self-employed. I could do everything on my own. So people do not even know what the process is. They don't even know what permanent residency is. Let me just even say it right now. Permanent residency is you're almost a citizen. If you're coming into Canada, you have only 3 years to become a citizen. That means you must stay in Canada for about 3 years, and then when you fulfill everything, you stay in the country, you're paying your taxes, you're a law-abiding citizen. In 3 years, you get your citizenship. A lot of people have done that. In fact, when I was planning to come to Canada, I remember there was one lady's video I used to watch, them, Wiz Queen. Just like last year, I saw that, oh, I've been approved, or I already have my citizenship, and I was like, God, so fast. The thing, it blinks before you know what is going on. 3 years is already over. Like, look at COVID time, 2020 to 2024. Let's just even use like COVID period. Those that came in during COVID, most of them are already citizens as at now. So that's what permanent residency gives you. It has a lot of perks. I mentioned this on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do follow me. I mention it, and I'm always like, these are some of the benefits you can get. Coming as a student, do you have benefits? Yes, but let me just say it's like maybe 10%. And when I'm talking about benefits, it's not about benefits for you to rip off the system. I'm talking about you like being like legal in some sort of way, maybe the kind of jobs you'll be getting. They might consider citizens first, permanent residents first, before they even consider students. If you understand what I mean, please drop a comment, because people complain. Coming into Canada now is not as easy as it used to be. So there's something that they will use to like sift people out. Does it mean that students are not getting jobs? I'm not saying that students do not get jobs. But when it comes to like prioritizing stuff, they might probably prioritize or give those offers to like citizens, permanent residents, before they even think of students. Let's not even go into visits, because visitors are not eligible to work or even work permits. So they will consider citizens, permanent residents, over those that have work permits and students. And that's the simple truth. If you think otherwise of what I'm saying in my video, please counter me, because these are the things I have been saying happening all around in Canada currently. People are complaining, some people are thinking of moving back. So if you want to relocate to Canada, please think of it very well. It's not like let's just pack our bags and leave. Please, by all means, consider everything around you. Consider your finances, consider your family size. As someone that has kids, permanent residency might actually pay you if you come in as a permanent resident. So consider everything. Don't just say because my neighbor came in as a student, I must also come in as a student. Is it difficult to get permanent residency? I am not disputing that fact, but I am telling you that it is still very, very possible to come in as a permanent resident. At least try. Why I am doing this video is for those that don't even know how to do it, where to start, what to do. That is why I had to go look for people, and I'm saying this with everything. I spoke with those people, like I was like, can we like partner, like can I trust you? Because I saw people that they helped, and I was like, okay, I don't want to, this is to me, I share information people don't even ask me for, and I share because I believe people are going to be needing it one way or the other. And I asked them, and this is like, I have seen it work for a lot of people, and these are people that are legit, they are trusted. And I approached these people, they are immigration consultants here in Canada. They are Quebec Immigration. They're also on Instagram. I'm going to be leaving all their links below, all their numbers, so that you can call them. If you want to start coming to Canada, you want to relocate, that is what you have on your game plan for this year or for next year, and you want to go through the permanent residency route, because another thing about permanent residency is, it's not as if life is easy or you start floating or something, but it's a bit easier. To be honest with you guys, it's a bit easier. There are so many perks of being a permanent resident over being a student, and I'm being very honest here. I'm not trying to downplay anybody's efforts, those that are students or anything. I'm not trying to downplay anybody's efforts, and I see reasons. Some people do not have the patience, or they don't really, or they can't just wait. I have a friend that is currently in Canada. She needed to leave immediately, and she needed to also like study. So that was one of the pathways that she chose, and she came in as a student. For some other people, you might still be able to like wait a bit more, wait for your application to go through and everything like that. So that is why I am imploring you that if you can, before you pay your school fees, why don't you try the permanent residency route? You can learn French. It's not easy. There's nothing easy in this life. Some people will say, oh, okay, if it's as easy as that, everybody will do it. Is anything easy? I did a video some days ago about like having a business in Canada and everything, and somebody was like, if it was that easy for everybody to own a business, why doesn't everybody own a business? Guys, I was not talking to everybody. If it was that easy, some people have submitted like 1,000 applications in searching for a job. If it was that easy, please, people are looking for jobs. I have seen people in this country 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, 2 years, yes guys, still looking for jobs. So there is nothing that is easy in quotes. Choose your hard, choose your struggles, choose the one that can go with you based on your person. Don't compare yourself with another person. I did that video, it was not meant for everybody. Somebody came and countered me, and that's not even the crux of this video. It's like I was saying, if you want to come into Canada and you want to relocate into Canada, you can. This is particularly for those in Canada. Quebec Immigration does, like if you want to relocate to any country, they can help you. They can help you with America. They can help you with Australia, with UK, with Ireland. They can help you with Canada and all these other places. But you know, permanent residency is actually peculiar to Canada. So don't be discouraged. Don't say it is 2024. As a permanent resident, it's almost impossible. The scores are so high. You can learn French. French is still very open. It's a very good pathway. Like I was telling someone, and for me, I just leave people when it feels like as if I am advising them too much. I just leave them. Best was like, oh, told me French is hard. What's my own? I will leave you, because being a student in Canada is hard, guys. Yes, I know that one very well. People are not just saying it. It is hard, very, very hard. Like read my lips, it is hard. So for me, that was one thing that we decided to do when I was doing all this, when I was studying in Nigeria as a 2020, and I was doing masters. It was as if, let me say it in Yoruba, God forbid, but like I'm not kidding, guys. It was difficult. During COVID, I was reading. During lockdown, I was reading. It was not easy to even read with kids. My husband would just help me, just take the kids that please don't disturb your mom. Like, because we all knew what it entails, we all knew what was at stake. And for the sake of being a permanent resident, it's advisable when the younger persons, when you're applying as a family, one person will stand in as the principal applicant. I have shared all that on this channel. Please go, I have shared all that. I don't want to go into details now. I was a younger person, of course. My husband is way older than I am, so I had to be the one to be the applicant. So he understood ways he could help me. He helped me, but I had to do what I had to do. Nobody could read for me. I had to do the reading myself. I had to do the masters. I had to do the PGD. I had to do the French. I started doing my French before I got a nomination from Ontario. So guys, in fact, if anybody listens to my story, don't be discouraged. Don't use your age. Age was not on my side. I'm getting closer to 40. Age was not on my side, but we had to do what we had to do. So, in conclusion, if you don't even know where to start from, if you don't know how to put your papers together, if you don't know what the options are, just talk to those people. Okay, this is how old I am. This is the size of my family. This is the amount we have. This is my educational qualification. This is the amount of experience I have. All that comes into play when you're trying to apply for a permanent residency in Canada. You can apply to provinces. I know it's difficult right now, but provinces are still giving permanent residency, just the way Ontario made me a permanent resident. So you can just target a province depending on your strength, depending on different things, and you might not know what to do, but they are there, they are the experts, and they're not agents. I would always say it, these guys are not agents. They're not the people that, okay, if something happens, they will run away. These people, they are very legal. They are here in Canada, they are registered in Canada. For them to register in Canada, you should know that if anything happens, you have a right to sue them, you have a right to call them out or anything like that. They're not agents that they won't tell you how it really works from beginning to the end. So try them. I'll leave all their links below. There are people that you can trust. If you also want like me to even introduce you to them formally and you don't even know how you can go about it, so you can talk to me. You can send me an email at iamtomiadenuga@gmail.com, or you can also reach out to me on Instagram at the Tomi Adenuga. I'll be glad to help you. So if your plan is to relocate in 2024, don't be discouraged, guys. You can still get permanent residency in Canada. Yes, I'll see you in my subsequent videos. Bye.